Jorge Masvidal unloads Nate Diaz over a potential rematch, while Chael Sonnen gives his take on what the UFC should do with Beniel Dariush. All this and more in today's MMA rumor. Let's get to it. 1. Jorge Masvidal says he'll beat the crap out of Nate Diaz if they ever fought in the Octagon again. Whoa. Gamebred had a lot to say in regards to a potential Nate Diaz fight in the future. But let's back up a bit, as Diaz had originally called out Jorge Masvidal after he beat Anthony Pettis in August 2019. Diaz saw how he knocked out Ben Askren in record fashion and wanted to set up a fight between the two coastal gangsters. That fight took place in November 2019, just a few months later in Miami, Gamebred's hometown, with The Rock showing up to hand over a specially made belt for the occasion, dubbed the BMF title. The fight ended in an anticlimactic fashion, with the referee stoppage in the third round due to a cut on Diaz's right eye. It was a tit-for-tat affair before then, with Masvidal gaining the upper hand in many of the exchanges, though Diaz was able to get in some brutal shots himself and was mounting much more aggressive offense in the third rounds. Still, Masvidal took the W while Diaz took the L in this one. Now, 2 years later, Masvidal was asked in a live Q&A session on Rumble about the prospects of a rematch against Diaz in the future, and this is what Gamebred had to say about it.
That motherfucker don't want it, man. You think I almost damn near killed him? I beat him an inch within his fucking skinny life. You saw his last fight with fucking Leon. I was like, man, they make the mistake and put this guy in there with me again. You know, like he's not trying to fight. What was the excuse for Leon? Because he said his cardio wasn't the best. He was gonna go around 4 and 5 because I don't know what. Like, man, that little fucking broomstick keeps talking. You're gonna have to go at some point. You know, not that take Kobe's ass out. If I gotta wait for Usman, it could be you that gets his ass whooping, bro. While I'm waiting for Usman after I get this #1 ranking, I go back to beating the shit out of you, just to keep myself entertained. And at first it started so cool and amicable, but man, you're a real fucking idiot, bro. You've said some dumbass shit numerous times and I've forgiven you, but you know, forgive me, bro. Let's fucking go, man. I want to break your fucking face, bro.
Masvidal didn't hold back his response here, going after Diaz, insulting him, and really setting up a potential future fight if Diaz were to so choose. At the moment, Masvidal is set to take on Colby Covington in the main event of UFC 272 in March in Las Vegas. Diaz, meanwhile, is looking for an opponent for the final fight of his current UFC contract and has called out Dustin Poirier for it. Diaz has also described this last fight as his retirement bout, but it remains to be seen if that's actually going to be the case. What are your thoughts on Masvidal's comments concerning Diaz here? Let us know in the comments what you think. 2. Chael Sonnen believes Beniel Dariush should push to fight the loser of the Islam Makhachev Bobby Green bout. The fact that Beniel Dariush suffered an injury that forced him out of his fight against Islam Makhachev this upcoming weekend is, well, a bummer. The fight was meant to bring clarity to the top of the lightweight division to see who would get the next lightweight title shot after champion Charles Oliveira fights current #1 contender Justin Gaethje later this year. This was one of the most highly anticipated fight night cards since the UFC partnered up with ESPN. Two evenly matched fighters, both in their primes, who have skills that can nullify the other and have strong cases for a title shot. You just don't see this type of setup often. Dariush is on a 7-fight winning streak and hasn't lost a fight since 2018 with 2 knockout victories and 2 submission victories. Those wins are over guys like Drew Dober, Thiago Moises, and Tony Ferguson. No easy fights on Dariush's resume here. Then we have Makhachev, who is on a 9-fight winning streak with wins over Dan Hooker, Arman Tsarukyan, and David Ramos. Both fighters have looked incredible in their outings and have just as much claim to the #1 contender slot as the other. So this fight would have settled the debate. But with Dariush injured, Bobby Green, an unranked fighter who took the fight on just 10 days notice, will get the opportunity of a lifetime to jump the line for a title shot and take on Islam as a replacement fighter for Dariush. It's a tall order, but if Green can pull off the upset, reports online say that he would get the next shot at the title if he can beat Islam. But where does that leave Dariush? If you ask the American gangster and former middleweight title challenger Chael Sonnen, he may as well fight the loser of this fight. This is what Sonnen had to say in a recent video on his YouTube channel.
Benny's never asked anybody for anything. Benny's not asking you for something now. I'm asking you on behalf of Benny. He put in the work. He put in the sacrifice. He was where he's supposed to be, doing what he was supposed to be doing with who he was supposed to be doing it with. Now we got to defend him. We got to keep that spot. I do not hate the story that the winner of Islam Bobby goes on to fight for a world championship. I equally don't hate the story that whoever comes up with the silver medal stays in a main event and takes on the guy that was originally planning to be there, named Beniel Dariush.
Sonnen talks about how Dariush has never been one to talk or call for a title shot, but that his skill set and wins speak volumes. He's in a great position to fight for a title. He just needs to be able to fight for the honor to do so. Do you believe that Dariush should fight the loser of this fight to get the next title shot? Let us know in the comments what you think. Before we get to our next story, take a second to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the latest fight news. 3. Joanna Jędrzejczyk believes Amanda Nunes will be atop the Bantamweight division once again. Joanna Jędrzejczyk has been training at American Top Team in Florida for a few years now, alongside some of the elite in the combat sports world. One of her training partners and teammates is former champ Amanda Nunes. Nunes recently dropped her UFC Women's Bantamweight title to fight Juliana Peña in December in a surprising fashion. The Brazilian came into the fight a massive favorite to beat Peña, who had been calling her out for years up to that point. The 33-year-old had defended her Bantamweight title 5 times and has looked so dominant at 135 pounds that she even had time to move up in weight to knock out Chris Cyborg for the 145-pound strap back in 2018. At the moment, many are calling Nunes the greatest female fighter of all time, but with the Bantamweight title now in Peña's grasp, the UFC is pulling out all the stops for the rematch. Nunes will be coaching opposite Peña in the upcoming season of The Ultimate Fighter, which will obviously be a springboard to the highly anticipated rematch for the UFC Women's Bantamweight title this year. Joanna, seeing all of this, is backing up her friend and teammate for this title fight and believes that the Lioness will once again reign supreme at 135 pounds. This is what Joanna had to say in a recent interview with the Schmo.
I really believe in her that she will be back to holding two belts in 2 different weight classes because she's a beast.
Do you agree with Joanna and think Nunes will come back stronger than ever to beat Peña? Or do you think that Peña will once again hold the Bantamweight title up high in the rematch? There's always so much going on in the fight world, and we got it all here for you on MMA Rumor. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell to keep updated with all things MMA. Thanks for watching.